I would like to invite Mr. Forom Mehta. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I think good afternoon and welcome to Mercury Goldman. I represent Mercury Goldman. We are a company which is into sales performance improvement. But today, I am not going to talk about sales training at all. I am going to talk about something very different, and that is a company called as Celemi, C-E-L-E-M-I. Celemi is into some secret things. In a way, if you look at it, I am completely antithesis of all the people who are present here. Here we are talking about learning experience, learning AI and all of that. We are nothing like that. So we are completely different. So maybe you need to give a patient hearing or for what we stand for. We are into something which looks like this. I'm going to explain what is this. The byline I say is, live it to learn it. That means what I mean to say is, it brings a question. We are all L&D people, OD people. I ask a stupid question. What is learning? Okay, I asked myself this question. What is learning? What is learning? It is said that some things never change. Some people would have talked about VUCA world, Bani world, lot of things changing, absolutely. We say some things don't change. What doesn't change? The moon, the sun goes in the east, goes out in the west, and lots of things like that. Another thing which doesn't change is the need to learn. The need to learn is not changing. It has been constant. Of course, the methodologies will change over a period of time. You have AI, augmented reality, all of these things are happening. But the need to learn, you cannot stop a person from learning. Learning is natural. Of course, you can make a decision, I don't want to learn, but that's an aberration. We learn naturally. Question is, what is learning? And I reach a decision by saying, what is learning? And I say, learning is, how does one learn? One learns from study, one learns from observation, one learns from experience. I'm going to talk about something about learning by experience, what we will look at as we go along. And this definition of learning was given by a partner called About Learning in US. About Learning in US is all about instructional design. And if you talk about instructional design, she came up with definition saying that learning is making of meaning. It's a very profound definition if you look at it. Making of learning, not knowing learning. Knowing and making meaning out of it is completely different. I may know how to read a balance sheet, but did I understand the balance sheet? Do I know how the dots connect? And do I understand how I am working in the company and how is it actually affecting the balance sheet and profit and loss account? That is learning. Okay? And if you look at it, learning is, it has been there since donkey's years. It actually has to go through 4 quadrants of learning. You are all instructional design professional. It should engage the whole person. It should add to the existing knowledge, and all of us have different level of knowledge. That is the problem. We all have different levels of knowledge, different levels of skill, and a complete learning experience should also address what if. That means they should transfer whatever learning you have somewhere to our business situation. Otherwise, no use of learning. It becomes an academic exercise. So, engage, add knowledge, enhance his expertise, and is transferable. So, there are different types of learners. Some people would be why learners, some people will be what learners, how learners, and what if learners. All of these 4 quadrants, if they are in place, then a learning experience happens. So, Learning never exhausts the mind. In fact, it's very, very refreshing. People love learning. The question is, all things are dash, some things are dash. Can someone attempt to fill in the blanks? No? Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
I can use Picasso's words to fill that. Picasso said, all models are false, some are useful.
Fantastic. You are approximately, absolutely on the right track. All things are learnable. Some things are teachable. Now you look at this. Suppose you have to learn algebra. Suppose you have to learn geometry, geography, history. A teacher can teach you. But suppose you have to learn business acumen. Can you learn by going to college? Can you learn strategic thinking by going to college? You may learn frameworks, but how to do strategic thinking can you learn? You cannot learn. Because you will only know definition of strategic thinking, what it does, etc. But you will never learn strategic thinking. For example, if you want to learn how to run a company, how do you train people on running a company? Because one is a case study method, fantastic method, very learned people in college. Only issue is, in case study method, there is no constraint. I can make all sorts of commitment. You do this, you do that, company should do this. But in real life, there are a lot of constraints, and all decisions have to be made at the same time. Whereas in learning, we learn marketing should do this, HR should do this, all of this. It doesn't happen like that. All this learning can happen through something. A great teacher can teach calculus with a paper clip. One can argue, a great teacher. Do we learn actually? We get taught, we get spoon-fed. Maybe we imbibe the knowledge, but do we learn is the question. Okay, you see one lady here, what is she doing here? She is attempting to ride a bicycle. I want, if possible, anybody wants to volunteer to come here and teach us how to ride a bicycle. It's impossible. You cannot learn riding a bicycle unless something happens. What are those somethings? You need a bicycle. You need to know what is the brake, what is the chain, etc., components of the bicycle. You need to learn cause and effect. You pedal faster, you will do this. And in fact, actually what I did was, out of curiosity, I went to ChatGPT and asked a question, how do you learn how to ride a bicycle? Approximately at the fifth or sixth point, second point was, you should wear a helmet, you should have a clear area, all of that. Fifth or sixth point was, you should balance. The question is, how can you balance? Unless you are in the company. So, as a thought process of that, we say, you don't learn how to run a company and take learning out of it by going through a PowerPoint. For learning how to run a company, you need a bicycle, a company. You need to understand whatever I do in the company, how it affects the balance sheet and profit and loss account. I need to know what is balance sheet and profit and loss account. I need to know the cause and effect. I need to know how the company operates, production, sales, cost, cash, all of these departments. But somebody may argue, no, I am from production. Why should I learn finance? And somebody from finance may say, why should I learn from production? Very valid points. But as one grows higher in the organization, we need to learn how to run the company, and that can happen only through a business simulation, and that is where Celemi comes in. Okay, you need to experience the simulation where you explore and manage the company. That means the simulation should be such that you are excited. It should be like a roller coaster ride where you have ups and downs, surprises, anything can happen. You should be making decisions, and you make decisions, you should be also having immediate feedback. I took a decision. What happened? Cause and effect. The aim is to improve my business. Question is, what will you do? Because in all these departments, you have to make decisions. And when you are making decisions in all these departments, that decision you have to make simultaneously. For example, we don't have unlimited money. We have some amount of money. Should I spend on production? Should I spend on product development? Should I spend on people? Should I augment my manufacturing capacity? All of these are decisions, and all these decisions put together, I need to do. There has to be an emotional attachment. You have to take responsibility for all learning, because some people may be familiar in balance sheet, some people don't know balance sheet, some people know production, some people don't know production. So we need to change the roles. A R&D person, we should put him in sales. A salesperson, you put him in production. A finance person, and so on. So that there is active learning and learn together from each other, which is what we call as social learning. Learn together. So this is only be possible through a simulation. Okay? You have this picture, I am sure you would have seen this picture. This is 2009, A320, US. This picture is called Miracle on the Hudson. What actually happened is, the plane was flying, there was a bird hit, both engines failed. And the pilot, for the first time, took a decision, airport is too far off, I need to land, I'll land on water. He made this decision and made a very wise decision, because 150 lives were saved. Now it has happened that people have taken learning out of it and made some safety announcements, what we should do in case you land water, how you should do, and all of those things. This is possible now because all pilots undergo a simulation. They read books, very nice, but they undergo a simulation. Military people undergo a simulation. Doctors undergo a simulation. Makes me wonder, why the hell do corporates not do too much of simulation? For when teaching fails, try learning. It has to be fun, super fun. But I add one more word to it. Because we are not here to have fun only, it has to be serious fun. And that is what Celemi simulations is all about, serious fun. Welcome to the world of board-based business simulations. Board-based means they are played on a board. Somebody may say, oh, you are too old-fashioned. You are playing board-based simulations. Everybody is moved to digital. You may be surprised to know that our top customers are from IT industry. He is from IT industry, and the top names are from IT industry. So that is Celemi, the power of learning. This is the first page of a learning guide which we give. Now draw your attention. Remember, the value of what you know is best measured by what you do. So no point in giving a quiz competition. What you do in that simulation, what is it, what decision you take, and what is the impact of decision. And the answer is in the balance sheet and profit and loss account. And every year you are supposed to make a balance sheet and profit and loss account without knowing what is balance sheet and profit and loss account. Within 1 hour, you will be equipped to do that because there's a different methodology of learning. Diverse learning into insights, self-contained learning. Let's take an example. Forget about this. For example, everybody knows salesperson should collect money from customers very quickly. Everybody knows. Question is, do they do it? If you want a salesperson to collect money quickly, you must put them through a simulation where the entire competition is moving ahead because they have cash to spend and you don't have cash to spend and you are going to just watch people doing something. You can't do anything. This they have to experience, therefore experiential learning. Okay? How much you learn? You learn from failing. So in fact, I would put on hypothesis saying you should learn how to outfail the competition. Make plenty of mistakes in the simulation, not in real life. Okay. So a simulation has to be applying new insights, share human experience, team building, of course, is there, social learning, engage all these senses, the heart, the brain, all of this. It should be simple to understand, quick decision making, step into a story, there should be a storyline. That means there's a company which is performing but not too well. Now you are supposed to take it to greater heights, what decisions you will do. And in simulation, you also have a magic wand. If you are doing very badly, then you rewind everything so that now I will do it better. You experiment, you learn from mistakes, risk-free learning, safe environment, make all mistakes you can, clear feedback, immediate feedback, all measured on balance sheet and profit and loss account. Okay, so social, experimental, facilitated. There are some things where it is easy to learn, very difficult to teach. I am just giving some examples. Business acumen. You can't teach. You will call a professor from IIM, he will come and give you some lecture on balance sheet, profit and loss account. Will you learn is the question. Of course, with great respect, they are very learned people, but will you actually learn? Charles Handy says, what is learning? One is knowledge. After you gain knowledge, what you do? You do. After doing, you reflect on the learning. And after reflecting on the learning, you learn because you are able to apply it to your company. That is where learning happens. So, business acumen, you want the entire organization to pull in one direction. How do you train them? Question. Differentiate or die, especially salespeople, marketing people. How do I differentiate? Otherwise, the whole company is going to die. Stay ahead in a changing world, ever changing world. If you do not take care of changes, very soon a deep seek may happen. Not only NVIDIA will fall down, but all people related to NVIDIA will fall down. So we need to be prepared for that. Question is, if I am running a company, should I actually keep cash or should I spend cash? Should I spend cash first or should I do it later? Should I follow the market or should I make the market? These are real life challenges which you face in the marketplace. Managing, so this is my favorite. I would say you are talking to L&D people, you are talking to HR people, you are talking to OD people. Where are the people? Where are the intangible assets? Suppose you are a knowledge intensive company, a management consultancy. How do you run your business? Because there you have customers outside and people inside. And people will have different chemistries with the customers. If 5 people from here go out, they may take customers out. And then you are stuck. And then you are wondering, should I get more people in? You get more people in, chemistry doesn't match. So maybe I should change the customers. This is something which happens in real life. This is what a simulation, which is people, intangible assets, monetize the intangible assets. It is Tango. Experience your. We also have something like some people say, I have some 4-5 hours. Can you help people think a little strategically? We have some simulation for that. Okay, so where can we use Celemi simulations? Developing high potentials, role change, functional to general, as you go higher in the organization, transition to senior management roles, where you need to have an overall look and feel, understanding, learning. Breaking interdepartmental barriers is very common. Developing skills of decision making. This is decision making to the core. It's not just decision making. You should be able to see the impact of the decision making in a real life company with a real life situation, and that impact should come immediately. It should affect the balance sheet and profit and loss account. You do well, you make right decisions, you progress. You make wrong decisions, you should fail. And once you fail, you can analyze why you have failed. Developing strategic skills, developing business acumen, change management, attracting, developing, retaining people and customers, which is what I talked about earlier. These are some places you can do. There are lots of different types of simulations. I would go a little bit granular and say, if you are developing simulations for business acumen for a retail business is different, business acumen for a manufacturing business is different, all of this is different. So how do I develop that? So there are a lot of simulations. These are some simulations. They are decision-based, enterprise, apples and oranges, Medici, etc. I don't think we have a time for that. But what I would invite you is to please come to our booth. You will get further insights on this. And what I can offer you, in case you are interested in knowing more about, experiencing more about business simulation, not knowing. Knowing you will not understand. Experiencing this business simulation, you can register. Possibly in the near future, we can have a discovery session where you will really understand what I am talking about. And therefore, this is the, so for things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. So in short, Celemi is learning by doing. So this is a QR code. You can possibly scan, put on the details, and possibly we can get back to you. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much for an insightful session.